Number 2, value work as it adds value to you and others. Value work as it adds value to you and to others. That's verse 13 and 15. She finds wool and flax and busily spins it. She's like a merchant ship bringing her food from afar. She gets up before dawn to prepare breakfast for her household and plan the day's work for her servant girls. So she values work. Can I give you a theological, biblical underlayment here, foundation, if you will? We really need to learn creation theology and teach it. That's why I mention it so much, because we've forgotten it. We've forgotten it as Christians, we've forgotten it as a church, and we've forgotten it as followers and leaders of Christ. God gave assignments and work assignments to Adam and Eve before the fall. In chapters 1 and 2, what does he tell them? To name all the plants, name the birds and the animals and everything that walks and creepeth upon the earth. You're to name them. And you're to be a steward of all that's been created. God gave them assignments. God gave them work. What does that say? Work is of God. It's good. After the fall and sin, what happened? Work became a little harder. There were thorns and things, but that's a result of sin and brokenness coming into the world. But when God created Adam and Eve, prior to the fall, work was good. Work is good. Work adds value to the person who works. You see, God has given you talents and gifts to utilize to create things, make things. God's wired you up. One of the most important things to tell a child is not necessarily that they can be anything they want to be, because that's a bold-faced lie. I made a C in biology. You don't want me to be your doctor. But there are other things that God has gifted me in. I made straight A's as a freshman, got the Bible Award for excellence my freshman year at college. There are things we're all wired up differently to be and do. That's why there's absolutely no excuse for the United States government to pay people to be at home. There's no excuse for that. People were created to work. Now, I understand the first 2 or 3 months when we got in this mess, and I understand the rationale behind that because things were shut down. I get that. But after about 4 or 5 months, folks, it's time to get back to work. It's time to get going. Why? Because God's created you and gifted you with talents and gifts to work and create things and do things. We wouldn't have these lights if Thomas Edison was still sitting on the couch. Come on, somebody. We're going to pay you to just sit on the couch. Well, you mean I can't try over 1,000 times to invent the light bulb? No, we're just going to pay you to sit on the couch. Think about the medical breakthroughs we've had because people use their intellect, their talents, their gifts, their passion, their grit, their determination. There's got to be a way. We got to find a cure. This doesn't need to keep going on. God has given people talents and gifts for all kinds of breakthroughs, all kinds of beautiful things that have happened in our world because God has created us to work. People need to work.